Honestly, the moment I will sit down to record, now everyone starts talking, dogs will start barking, and it's annoying. Hi guys, I'm Sneha and you are watching my channel Book Junction. Now I know the background is pretty different. Basically, I cannot record in front of my usual setup because my neighbor has suddenly decided to watch news on the highest volume possible. So we have to adjust. So basically in this video, I'm going to recommend you some Kindle books that are free and are under ₹50. Alright, so like usual, I have written everything in my diary so that I don't miss out on anything. So I will be reading stuff from here, don't mind. So now let's start with free books first and then we will move to the books that are under ₹50. All of these books are Kindle books, remember that, because obviously we cannot order anything. Now the first free Kindle book that I want to recommend to you guys is Nikola Tesla by C.N. Patrick. This book is obviously on Nikola Tesla, where you will get to know a lot about Nikola Tesla, his relationship and his rivalry with Edison and many other people. But if you have heard about Nikola Tesla, who is also like the role model of Elon Musk, and if you're a fan of Elon Musk, you would want to know who he looks up to. So he really looks up to Nikola Tesla, and that's why I got really intrigued and I read this book. Nikola Tesla's personality is just like so graceful, charming, and a person who did his work without worrying about recognition, and he deserved so much more, but he could not get all of it. So yeah, I don't want to get into a detailed review, but I definitely recommend this book. It's free. It's also a very short read as well. So I feel like you guys will read something amazing. You will also increase your knowledge about him. Also, you will get really inspired by him. And the book is written in a very amazing language as well. The language is lucid, easy to understand, very simple. So if you are a beginner, this book is for you. Next up, I recommend Wuthering Heights. I don't really need to talk about this book. Wuthering Heights is like a classic. It's a cult classic. Every literature student has to read this book and study it thoroughly to understand characters and everything basically. So I definitely recommend this book. Next, I recommend Women in Love by D.H. Lawrence. If you have read other books by D.H. Lawrence, only then I will recommend this book. Although it's for free, you can try, but I feel like if you have not read his other books, I feel like you won't be that much acquainted with his style of writing, and to understand his books you actually have to get the hang of it. Alright, next up I recommend A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Now the thing is, personally I'm not that big a fan of Charles Dickens. I did enjoy some of his books, but you know, in general he's not one of my favorites. I did not like a couple of books and that's just me, but we know that a lot of people love him and that he is a celebrated author, and if his books are for free, then you should definitely take advantage and try to read. If you are a Charles Dickens fan, then you can actually check this book out. So that's why I'm recommending this basically. My next recommendation is Next Door. It's a psychological suspense mystery book and it's really fast paced, not slow at all, very thrilling and very intriguing. I mean, for a free book, it's really good. Obviously, there are amazing thrillers out there in the world. There are so many amazing thriller books, but they are not free, right? But this is free, so yeah. Guys, if there is one genre that I can read for the rest of my life, that is young adult fiction. I love YA fiction. I love reading those books, and I was trying to find something on Kindle for free that would be, you know, like even slightly YA, you know what I mean. So yeah, I was trying to find and I just did not get anything as I would like to read, like not in my taste. But one book that I found that was pretty good actually. It's a YA book, but it's a little paranormal, and I'm not a person who likes to read paranormal books or horror books. I like reading gothic but not paranormal anyway. So yeah, the book is Beyond the Eyes. It's a good book. I'm actually not done with the book. I'm halfway through it, but I'm actually enjoying it. So if you are into something like that, then you can definitely check this book out. I actually recommend it. If you are a Jeffrey Archer fan, you can check his book Only Time Will Tell. I have not read this book, by the way, but I'm recommending this only because I found this while I was searching books for myself. My next recommendation is The Murder at Sissingham Hall by Clara Benson. I read this book, I think 2 days back. I finished this book. It's actually like a really thrilling book. Nice read, fast paced. The language is also like pretty good actually. For a free book, it's pretty damn good. Also, if you love reading short stories, then there is this short story called Death's Door by Finch. It's actually a really nice short story. I'm not someone who likes a lot of short stories. I just can't connect with short stories that much. I need a novel that takes time to build up, but I like this one. Other than the books that I mentioned, there are some other books also that I want to recommend, but quickly. Hostile Witness by Rebecca Foster, nice book. And lastly, If She Knew by Blake Pierce. Alright, now let's move on to the books that are available on Kindle for below 50 rupees. And my first recommendation would be Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. It's one of my most favorite books. I also have a detailed review on the book on my channel. I will put the link somewhere over here. Do check the review after you have watched this video. On Kindle, it's only for rupees 31, and on Audible, it's available for 22 rupees. So that's really cheap. My next recommendation is Black Holes by Stephen Hawking. If you are a fan of Stephen Hawking and if you are interested in black holes, then you can definitely read this book. This book is available on Kindle for only rupees 19, and I think that is really cheap. Out of all Stephen Hawking books, this is my second favorite, so yeah, you can check this book out definitely. Now, there are some Robin Sharma books that are available on Kindle for a really cheap price. His best book in my opinion is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, and that book is available on Kindle for only 49 rupees. That is amazing. Then his book Who Will Cry When You Die is also available on Kindle, and it's only for 40 rupees. It's also a good book, not as good as the former one, but yes, it's good nonetheless. Also, his recent book The 5 AM Club is available on Kindle for rupees 79. I know that's not below 50, but I just mentioned it in case you're looking for something like that. Next, I want to recommend you Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. This book is available for only 46 rupees. It's a self-help book. It's also a good book, not the best self-help books, but definitely a good book for self-improvement. The last two books that I want to recommend to you are by Dale Carnegie, both of them. The first one is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have a review of this book on my channel. You can check that out as well, but the book is on Kindle for rupees 24. That's really cheap. Also, this book is like the cult book. It's the classic self-improvement book. If you read this one book, I think you are good to go. You will learn so much. Next, I want to recommend also the last book that I will be recommending is How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie, and this one is obviously not as good as the one I mentioned before, but this is also a good book. Also, it's available on Kindle for only rupees 15, and ऑनेस्टली यार 15 रुपए के तो सिर्फ 6 पानी पूरी मिलती है हम लोगों को, तो आप किताब तो खरीद ही सकते हो. सो यस, इफ यू आर गेटिंग लाइक सच अ गुड बुक बाय डेल कार्नेगी फॉर ओनली 15 rupees, then I think you can totally invest that much amount and read this book for your own self-improvement. Rest, I leave it up to you what you want to do during this time. Anyway, so I really hope that you all enjoyed watching this video and found it valuable. If you did, then definitely like, share and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the bell icon so you are notified with all the updates, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye bye.